I'm here representing the National Insulation Association and the International Association of Heat and Frost Insulators and Allied Workers. We formed an alliance back in 2009 to work together for the education and advancement of mechanical insulation in both the commercial and industrial industries. NIA is also a trade organization headquartered in Northern Virginia. We're a 58-year-old trade organization. We represent, as I said, all facets of what is referred to as the mechanical insulation industry. We are basically the voice of the industry. We're the only trade organization representing that industry. The International is our alliance partner, and they are a 108-year-old organization that is extremely versed in the training of quality mechanics throughout the United States and all of the United States and throughout Canada. I mentioned mechanical insulation several times already, and we are what we refer to as the forgotten technology. We are the insulation that goes on pipes, on ductwork, on boilers. We're in basements, we're behind walls, we're above ceilings, we're forgotten about. We're put on initially, and basically we are forgotten technology. That plays a major role into our role and our enthusiasm with NTER. To give you an idea, our industry is relatively small compared to a lot of others. We currently have 123,000 direct employees in our industry, from actually field workers all the way through the manufacturing sector. Conservatively, if people would just think about mechanical insulation differently, and this is how we tie into the DOE, if people would just think differently about this forgotten technology and go beyond the minimums that are currently being specified in industry, we've estimated that there's over $5 billion a year in energy savings that can be generated, over 44 million metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions reduced, and create almost 90,000 new jobs. When we have 123,000 in the industry and we see a clear roadmap of how to create 90,000 new jobs, you can see how NTER really plays into the important role here. A little background as to how we got involved with the DOE and the NTER program. Back in 2010, we were fortunate enough to Congress, through the Energy and Water Development Appropriations Act, asked the DOE to develop and implement a mechanical insulation and awareness campaign. They understood it was the forgotten technology, and they understood the background that was out there and the opportunity. The biggest problem that our industry has is a deficit understanding of mechanical insulation. It really is. I've had an opportunity over the last 20 years to speak a lot to engineering groups. And I always like to get in front of mechanical engineers and ask a question. In a 4-year college course, how many hours did you spend on thermal insulation? Not thermodynamics, but thermal insulation. So far, the biggest answer so far is 1 hour. 1 hour. And yet the opportunity for energy, for efficiency, for job creation, for safety, personnel protection, it's just phenomenal. But again, it's the forgotten technology. The e-learning series, the NTER program, is the hub, becomes our focal point of actually being able to address that problem, or that opportunity, as we like to refer to it. The mechanical insulation campaign that we enacted with the DOE had different parts. Had a lot of data gathering, both in the commercial and industrial. We worked with the National Institute of Building Sciences. We have a mechanical insulation design guide that was developed there a number of years ago. But also through this program, we developed a series of online energy calculators, actually different types of calculators, that are also part of the NTER program now. Calculators included online, again, free, online, being able to determine and really see the value of mechanical insulation very quickly, both in energy, in financial returns from the standpoint of return on investment, from the standpoint of personnel protection, safety, again, if you will, freeze protection, condensation control, temperature drop, 8 different calculators. And these are all calculators that are now included within the NTER learning program. The learning program itself, you saw in one of the video in the beginning, has 5 different modules. They go from, again, addressing and defining mechanical insulation, because most people don't understand what mechanical insulation is. We spend a lot of time on the Hill, and we'll mention mechanical insulation, and we'll ask a congressman or a senator if they know what that is. And I say, oh yeah, it's the pink stuff. It's not the pink stuff. It's not the pink stuff. So we have to go through that. So we have a module on defining mechanical insulation, the science and technology that's behind it, the benefits, why, Why insulate? To think about insulation differently. The design objectives, all the various considerations, and of course the maintenance side. All 5 modules right now are approximately 2 hours in length total. How we're using these, I think, is where I'd like to spend the next couple of minutes in the final part of my presentation today. Besides the international has implemented and included now the modules in all of their apprenticeship training across the country. They've got an excellent program. They really do. But they have taught people how to install and do it quality. But now these NTER programs, the modules, allow us now to teach them why it's so important to do it. We're adding a whole new dimension to that education, to that awareness. The other sectors of the industry are doing the same thing. We're reaching out to those other sectors to include those within their training programs, and the open source capabilities will allow companies to develop it specifically to their own individual needs. And that is going to be critical as we go down the line. Because of this deficit understanding, though, the other opportunity that we have here is to go out to other trade organizations, to universities, to schools, to colleges, everything that you've heard talked about earlier today. The opportunity to get to the mechanical engineering community, which is the primary source of generating mechanical installation requirements, is phenomenal here. We've already had, in our short period, we went live in February of this year. We use March as basically a trial month. In April, we had 160 users go on. In May, we had 280. And we expect to see those type of increases continue as we go down the line. The opportunities are just phenomenal. But reaching out to all those trade organizations for both the standpoint of education and awareness as to the benefits of insulation, and also to being able to use it to the workforce generation opportunities that we have out there. We could easily double our workforce if we can just get people to look at the insulation differently. So we are going at this as a little different approach. Besides just workforce, it is actually engineering. It's the use education as well. Thank you very much.